Hello, friend, and welcome to the Sleepy Meteorologist. Tonight, we're setting off on a peaceful drift through 100 sleepy facts about weather from every corner of the world. From whispering winds in quiet valleys to the gentle hush of snowfall in the Arctic dusk. From the slow swirl of fog along a sleepy coastline to the warm exhale of desert air after sundown. These are the softest stories the sky has to tell. Perhaps your day was full. Perhaps your thoughts feel tangled like tree branches in a breeze. Or maybe you're simply here for the comfort of quiet company. Wherever you are, whatever the weather outside your window, this space is for you. A place to pause, to breathe, to rest. If these calm meteorology journeys bring you peace, feel free to like or subscribe, only if it feels right. No pressure, ever. So snuggle in. Let your breath grow slow, and your thoughts grow quiet. The world will keep spinning while we drift together. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Let your mind lift slowly, higher through a sky tinted in watercolor hues. Now, imagine a cloud, white and fluffy, like a cotton puff, drifting across a sleepy blue. It looks light enough to hold in your hand, almost too delicate to be real. But here's the gentle paradox. That cloud, the one so airy, so soft, might be holding over 1 million pounds of water. Not in buckets or waves, but in a suspended mist of tiny droplets. Each one barely visible, each one a whisper, a typical cumulus cloud. The kind you see on calm afternoons contains countless microscopic droplets or ice crystals, depending on the altitude and temperature. Together, they form what appears to be a weightless wonder. Yet, their collective mass is anything but light. So why don't these gentle giants come crashing down? The answer lies in the air itself. Beneath every floating cloud is a quiet ballet of warm updrafts, rising air that gently lifts and holds those water droplets aloft. As long as these upward currents continue, the cloud remains suspended, like a thought not yet spoken. The droplets are small enough that gravity pulls at them only faintly. They drift, hover, and linger, often for hours. Their slow dance is shaped by temperature, air pressure, and humidity, a symphony of invisible forces. Clouds also reflect sunlight in subtle ways. Some glow with gold at dawn, others blush in soft pinks at dusk. Their color changes with the angle of the sun, like pages turning in a skybound book. And despite their mass, clouds don't feel oppressive. They soothe. They shade sunlit meadows. They lull landscapes into calm. They move in silence, shaping shadows and softening light. There are many kinds of clouds, but cumulus clouds, those gentle, puffy ones, are the sky's lullabies. They rise on warm days, forming over fields, hills, and lakes, wherever warm air rises from the ground and cools just enough to condense moisture. Sometimes they grow into towers, building slowly into the heavens, evolving from innocent fluffs to majestic giants, always silently, always with grace. Imagine yourself beneath one now. A cool breeze brushes your skin. The air is still, save for the quiet sigh of leaves. Above, the cloud rests, miles wide, holding its 1 million pound secret with ease. There is no strain, no urgency, only balance. That is the gift of clouds. Their weight made gentle, their science made soft. And tonight, as you drift into rest, you can carry that thought with you, that even something immense can float when held by warmth and patience. Let's drift with them just a little longer. Up above, high in the clouds, something begins. A shimmer, a stir, a transformation. Moisture in the air, once invisible, begins to gather, gently, delicately. Tiny water droplets cling to dust or salt particles, drifting in the atmosphere. These are cloud condensation nuclei, small seeds around which droplets grow. And when these droplets merge, joining others in a silent, slow waltz, something magical happens. They grow heavy enough to fall, and raindrops are born. But here's the secret. They don't look like teardrops. Not at all. Real raindrops begin as tiny spheres, almost perfectly round. Their shape is sculpted by the balance between surface tension, which pulls the water molecules into a ball, and air resistance, which flattens them slightly as they fall. The smallest raindrops remain round. Larger ones become more like soft, squashed domes, flat underneath, rounded on top, but never the pointy teardrop we draw in pictures. They begin high in the cloud, thousands of feet above. Some fall for minutes, others for mere moments. All fall in silence. As a raindrop descends, it cools and gathers speed, brushing against air molecules, sometimes colliding with other droplets. But it's not a tumble. It's a gentle surrender, a slow motion fall through shifting layers of air, temperature, and time. Sometimes the drop evaporates before it reaches the ground, vanishing like a sigh in dry air. Other times, it completes its journey, landing on rooftops, leaves, windowsills, or open palms. Raindrops can be as small as 0.1 inches or as wide as a quarter inch, though large ones often break apart before reaching the earth. They fall at speeds ranging from a slow drift to about 20 miles per hour, depending on size and wind. And with them, they carry a kind of peace. The rhythmic tap on the roof, the hush of streets under rainfall, the way the world seems to lean in and listen. Raindrops cleanse the air as they fall, capturing particles and washing the atmosphere clean. They water the soil, feed the rivers, and offer life without a sound. And as you lie there, tucked into stillness, imagine it, a single raindrop falling through moonlight, from cloud to canopy, from branch to blossom, from sky to sleep. The world is full of quiet wonders, and raindrops are among the quietest of them all. So rest now, and we'll follow where the weather leads. Close your eyes and imagine the earth breathing. A slow inhale, the warmth rising from sunlit soil. A long exhale, the whisper of wind over distant hills. This is weather, the breath of the planet. It is more than clouds or rain, more than sunshine or snow. Weather is the great invisible rhythm of air in motion, heat in transfer, water in cycle. It surrounds you, wraps around you, even when unnoticed. It is felt in your skin, heard in the trees, seen in the way shadows shift. At its heart, weather is shaped by contrasts. Warm and cool, wet and dry, high and low pressure. These differences create movement, rising air, sinking air, circulating air. The atmosphere, a vast ocean above us, flows in constant conversation with the sun, the sea, and the land below. Winds stir when air moves from high pressure to low. Clouds form when moist air cools and condenses. Rain falls when droplets grow too heavy to remain aloft. Snow dances down when temperatures guide water vapor into icy crystals. Each moment of weather is a story of exchange. The sun warms the ground warms the air rises, carrying moisture skyward, and somewhere far away, clouds gather, release, dissolve. Weather is always happening, even now, even in sleep. It can be vast, cyclones spinning over oceans, or small morning mist hugging a valley. But always it is motion, gentle or strong, still or swirling. It is the way the earth breathes. And when you feel a breeze pass by, when you watch leaves dance or listen to rain's soft tap, you are witnessing this breath, not a disturbance, but a rhythm, ancient, essential, calm. So tonight, let's think of weather not as a forecast to check, but as a lullaby sung by the sky. A slow, invisible waltz of temperature, wind, and vapor, the earth turning in its sleep. As you rest now, feel your own breath mirror the planets. Inhale, warmth. Exhale, ease. Weather, like dreams, drifts and changes. And tonight, we drift with it. The storm passes, and then the air begins to speak. A scent rises, earthy, sweet, ancient. You've smelled it before, on quiet afternoons, on garden paths, after summer storms. It is called petrichor, the fragrance of rain. But what is this scent that stirs memory and stillness? Petrichor is born in the dry spell before the storm. As plants and soil rest beneath the sun, they release oils, soft, invisible compounds that settle into the ground. One of these oils, called geosmin, is produced by soil-dwelling microbes known as actinomycetes. These tiny life forms go mostly unnoticed until the rain comes. When raindrops hit the earth, they stir up these compounds. Little bubbles form on impact, trapping the fragrant molecules, and then they burst, sending them into the air. A scented mist, a whisper from the soil, a message released only when water and earth meet again. You may also notice a sharper, cooler note in the breeze. That's ozone, sometimes carried down from the upper atmosphere by the storm's movement, adding a clean, fresh edge to the scent. Together, geosmin and ozone mix with the earthy oils from leaves, bark, and grass. The result? A fragrance that feels like memory. Something soft, familiar, grounding. Petrichor is not just pleasant, it has a purpose. Some scientists believe that this scent helps seeds awaken, or that animals, sensing it, know the rains have returned. To us, it is emotional, evocative, a kind of sensory lullaby. Imagine walking through a garden after rain, leaves heavy with droplets, soil darkened and rich. The air carries a scent you can't quite name, but your heart remembers. That is petrichor, the perfume of renewal, a reminder that even the sky can kiss the ground. So, let your thoughts wander there, to quiet roads still slick with rain, to the hush of branches, to the breath of the earth, now scented with storm and story. You don't have to go anywhere, just inhale, and let petrichor carry you home, above the rooftops, above the trees, above even the quiet hum of thought. There begins a hush made visible. Snow is falling, not all at once, not loudly, but in a soft cascade of tiny wonders, snowflakes, each one a frozen whisper, descending from clouds that have gathered their breath. High in the atmosphere, where the air is cold and still, water vapor transforms. Without becoming liquid, it crystallizes directly into ice. This process, called deposition, is delicate. It requires just the right balance of moisture, temperature, and silence. And the result? A six-sided miracle. Every snowflake begins as a microscopic ice crystal, branching out as it tumbles through layers of air. Each layer a sculptor, shaping its arms, edges, and spines. Temperature and humidity influence the form. Some flakes become plates, others needles, some feathery dendrites like frozen stars. No two are exactly alike, not because it's impossible, but because the path each flake travels is uniquely turbulent, uniquely quiet, uniquely its own. And as they fall, slowly, gently, they sing, not in sound, but in presence. A snowfall is a symphony of silence, played in 1,000 glimmers. Each flake reflects light, catches moonbeams, softens shadow. The world beneath changes as snow descends. Edges blur, sounds muffle. Even footsteps feel slower, as if time is coated in something soft. Close your eyes and imagine it. A single flake floating past your window. Light as breath, gone in a blink, but not forgotten. Snow gathers not in haste, but in patience. Flake by flake, it layers rooftops and railings, carves soft ridges on fences, curls into the corners of windowsills. The science behind snow is exact. Crystals form at precise temperatures, grow in geometries studied by meteorologists and admired by artists. But to most of us, it feels like magic. Sometimes snow falls straight, like a sleepy curtain. Other times, it swirls, caught in a dance with wind, weaving spirals and eddies before resting. Whether it's a gentle flurry or a slow drift, it changes the air. Even the smell of winter shifts, tinged with quiet and cold. Some cultures have dozens of words for snow, each for a different kind, a different mood. Powder, flurries, sleet, feather snow, crust snow, grauple. But tonight, let's call it one thing: peace. Let your thoughts drift now, like flakes. Light, slow, free. There's no hurry here, just the soft descent of sleep's own snowfall, and the sky still holds more wonders. Far above, where clouds gather in stillness and anticipation, a spark waits. The air grows quiet, charged, and then a flash. But here, we won't rush to the thunder. We'll slow everything down, step inside the light. Lightning is not just a strike. It is a dance of electrons, a whisper of ions, a sudden surge of energy released from a growing tension in the sky. It begins when warm and cold air meet inside a towering cloud. As particles of water and ice bump and swirl, they build static electricity. The cloud becomes charged, positive at the top, negative at the base, and the earth responds, reaching up with its own invisible fingers. When the difference becomes too great, the barrier breaks. A channel forms, faint at first, branching like a tree made of ghostlight. It seeks the ground, and when it connects, a bolt, brighter than the sun, hotter than 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A thread of fire in the sky, burning only for an instant, but rewind it in your mind, and you'll see each step, the gathering, the reaching, the connection. Some bolts leap cloud to cloud, dancing silently between giants. Some reach the earth, illuminating trees, hills, oceans. Others never quite touch down, cloud flashes, visible only as pulses behind the curtains of rain. All are beautiful, none are angry. Lightning's heat expands the air around it so suddenly that it creates thunder, a soft rumble rolling across the landscape like a sky-sized drum. But tonight, we don't need the sound, just the shimmer, just the light. You are safe here, beneath blankets and dreams. The storm is distant. Its energy is art. Imagine watching lightning from afar, beyond a window, over a valley, across the ocean. Each flash a silent story written across the clouds. Some cultures see lightning as messages, skywriting, celestial speech. And whether science or symbol, it always begins the same way. With stillness, with a shift in the air, with silence becoming visible. So, let the light flicker behind your eyelids. Let the warmth of the moment pass through, and drift slowly into the next cloud's secret. Then pause, and then it comes, rolling gently across the sky. Thunder, but not the kind that startles or shakes. Tonight, we listen differently. We soften every rumble into something soothing, like a voice far away, speaking in a language made of air and warmth. Thunder is born from lightning's heat. When a bolt of lightning surges through the sky, it superheats the air around it, faster than anything else in nature. This sudden warmth makes the air expand explosively, stretching like fabric pulled tight, then released. That expansion creates a wave, a ripple, that travels outward in every direction. That wave is sound. That wave is thunder. But not all thunder is the same. Sometimes it's a quick, muffled thump, like a heavy blanket dropped on a wooden floor. Other times, it rolls slowly across the sky, like a stone skipping across a lake of clouds. The distance of the lightning changes the sound. When it's close, you might hear a crack or a pop, sharp, like a snapped branch. Farther away, it's all rumble, a long, low voice that travels miles before it fades. And tonight, we imagine the far kind, the sleepy kind, the kind of thunder you hear from bed, wrapped in blankets, with the window just slightly open. A sound that doesn't frighten, but comforts, like someone large and ancient sighing in their sleep. Some animals pause at thunder, birds hush, leaves still, but the earth, ever calm, listens. Thunder is one of nature's truest sounds. It cannot be faked. It cannot be hurried. It's the sky's response to sudden light, and even as it fades, it leaves a memory behind, like the final note of a lullaby. So rest easy. There's nothing in thunder that asks you to wake. Only a voice, speaking gently in waves, telling you the storm is far and soft and moving on. Let it pass overhead like a floating thought. Let it echo through your dreams if it wants to. For now, listen and let go. Above us, miles above, a great tower rises, but not of stone, of air and water and wind. This is a thunderhead, a cumulonimbus cloud, tall as a mountain, alive with motion, and yet, from where we are, it looks still, peaceful, like a sculpture lit by evening sun. But inside, a gentle chaos, a tumbling storm. Let's go. There, quietly, we'll float through the outer veil, where the air is cool and heavy with mist. Deeper still, past soft layers of moisture and invisible charge, until we find the place where the storm begins. Inside the cloud, updrafts of warm, moist air rise quickly, lifted by heat from the Earth's surface. As this air climbs, it cools, and the moisture within begins to condense into droplets. These droplets gather, forming towers of cloud that rise higher and higher. But while some air is rising, other air is falling. Downdrafts of cooled air sink downward, pulling rain and ice with them. Updraft meets downdraft. Water meets ice. The clash is not violent, but constant. Within this balance, droplets freeze, melt, collide. Some become hailstones, tossed upward again and again, layering ice like rings of a tree. All of this hidden in a single cloud. Electric charges begin to separate. The top of the cloud grows positive, the bottom negative. The tension builds, not in anger, but in potential. And from this quiet build, lightning may form. We've already visited that spark, but now we focus on the breath of the storm, the rise and fall, the inhaling warmth, the exhaling chill. It is not chaotic, it is alive, a natural machine built from heat and water, gravity and light. From the outside, the cloud swells and looms, but here, within, it is a rhythm. If you've ever seen a storm approach from afar, watched the grey pillar of rain descend from the sky, you've glimpsed this dance from a distance. But tonight, you float within it, unafraid, a passenger. You feel the warmth of the rising air, the coolness of the fall. You drift with droplets. You brush past crystals. You hear the hum of charge before it speaks. This is the storm's breath. Not the danger, not the noise, just the pattern. And when the storm is spent, it doesn't end with a bang. It collapses softly. Rain falls gently. Air settles. The great tower dissolves. And the sky becomes calm once more, just as you are now. Let your thoughts rise and fall like air in the cloud. Let the storm pass through you. not around you. And breathe. Tomorrow may bring sunlight, or mist, or more clouds, but tonight you are here, floating inside the quietest part of the storm. There are days when the sky decides to come down, not in rain, not in snow, but in a soft embrace of white. This is fog, a low-hanging hush where the world blurs and boundaries fade. Fog is a cloud that has wandered down to earth. It forms not in the sky's upper reaches, but close, sometimes so close it brushes your skin, clings to your clothes, halos the street lamps. It's not made of smoke or misty illusion, but of countless tiny water droplets suspended in the air. Each droplet too small to fall, too many to ignore. It often arrives at dawn, just before the world fully wakes. It needs cool air and quiet land, a surface still damp from the night, a stillness undisturbed by wind. When warm, moist air meets cooler ground, the moisture condenses into fog. No thunder, no lightning, just an exhale of the earth, gentle and slow. Step into it with me now. Let's walk through this quiet cloud on foot. The air is thick, but not heavy. The world is near, but hidden. Sounds are different here, muffled, softened, as if the fog absorbs each footfall, each breath. Even birds call more quietly, their voices drifting like echoes in a dream. Your vision shortens. What once stretched far now ends just a few steps ahead. But instead of feeling lost, you feel held, cradled in closeness, wrapped in white. You might see droplets forming on leaves, on railings, on the edges of spider webs, each bead a jewel suspended in midair. You might notice how even motion slows. Cars move carefully, people speak in whispers. There are many kinds of fog. Radiation fog forms overnight, under clear skies, when the ground cools quickly. Advection fog arrives when moist air flows over cooler surfaces, often near coasts, like a breath from the sea. There's also valley fog, which settles low, following the contours of the land like water poured into a bowl. Each type, a variation of the same gentle quiet. In folklore, fog is mystery. In science, it's a phase of water. In sleep, it's the perfect metaphor for drifting thought. Things remembered, half seen, gently fading. And as the sun climbs, the fog begins to lift. Not all at once. It thins, withdraws, reveals. What was hidden returns to view. But for a while, you were inside the cloud, inside the breath of morning. So lie still now. Feel the softness in the air around your thoughts. Let the fog settle inside, where it can quiet the noise, slow the rhythm. No need to see far, only to rest and wait for the next wonder to drift your way. Out in the quiet deserts, where rain is rare and rivers sleep beneath the sand, water still finds a way, not through storms or thunder, but in stillness, in silence. This is dew, the desert's secret rain. Even in the driest places, the air carries moisture, invisible during the heat of day. But at night, when the earth cools, something shifts. The air near the ground begins to chill, and as it cools, it can no longer hold all its moisture. That moisture condenses, gathering as droplets on petals, on stone, on spines of cactus. Tiny drops, quiet as breath, born not from clouds, but from contact, from closeness. Dew forms when the surface temperature dips below the dew point, the threshold where moisture begins to settle out of air. It doesn't fall from above. It appears like a gift from within. In deserts, where rainfall might visit only a few times a year, dew arrives far more often. Plants have learned to welcome it. Some open their pores at night, ready to drink. Others tilt their leaves to guide droplets toward their roots. Animals too know dew. Beetles in the Namib Desert lift their backs to the wind, catching dew on their shells, then sipping the gathered water as it runs toward their mouths. It's a quiet survival. No splashes, no storms. Just a thin veil of moisture forming where day meets night. If you walk through a desert at dawn, you might see it glinting faintly on sand or stone. Not enough to pool, just enough to touch. And dew is not only for deserts. It forms in meadows, on rooftops, across fields and forests. Anywhere calm and cool enough for water to pause and gather. There is something peaceful in the way dew works, so gently, so slowly. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. Just one drop at a time. Over hours, over silence. Some call it fragile, but in many places, dew is the main source of hydration for delicate plants and hardy flowers. It nourishes life where rain cannot. So tonight, let's honor the softness of this process. Imagine the world cooling around you, the heat of the day retreating, and with each degree, moisture returns, beading along the edges of your thoughts. Let dew be the dream. Let it bead quietly across your mind, drop by drop, calm and clear. You don't need a storm to be restored. Sometimes stillness is enough, and in the stillness, water waits. And feel it, not with your eyes, but with your skin. A soft brush, a delicate tug at a curtain, a whisper that moves through trees, across rooftops, over water. This is wind, the earth's invisible river. You can't see it, but it's always there, flowing over fields, swirling between buildings, rippling through tall grasses and sails. Wind is born from contrast. When the sun warms the earth unevenly, heating oceans, deserts, forests, and cities at different rates, it creates differences in air pressure. Warm air rises, cool air sinks, and air always seeks balance. The result? Motion. Gentle, endless motion. High pressure air flows toward lower pressure areas, and we feel that flow as wind. Some winds are steady, like trade winds that circle the equator. Others change daily, dancing with the landscape. There are sea breezes, rising in the afternoon as land heats faster than water, and mountain winds, sliding cool and silent down slopes at night. But tonight, let's drift with a soft breeze, one that doesn't rush, doesn't roar, just floats. Imagine it brushing past your face, moving your hair just slightly. Imagine leaves trembling as it passes, not with fear, but with joy, a signal from the sky that something is moving, gently. Wind carries stories. It carries seeds across continents, carries birds across oceans, carries scents of pine, of salt, of distant rain. It carves deserts, shapes dunes, brushes snow into soft drifts. And though we cannot see it, we know it by its work. Its fingerprints are everywhere. You've heard it whistle in cracks. You've seen it move smoke. You've felt it arrive before a storm and leave after one. The wind can be calm or wild, but here, in this moment, it is still a bow song. And sometimes, in the very early morning, when all is quiet, you can hear it move through a forest, like breath moving through lungs. Not frightening, just real. Even in space, satellites feel the wind above Earth. Vast streams in the upper atmosphere, called jet streams, steering storms and shaping weather. Yet down here in the low air, it's simpler. A breeze through your open window, a rustle of wind chimes, a curtain lifting slightly, then falling again. Let's stay in that moment. Float with the wind as if you were made of air. Let your thoughts drift with it, light and slow. You are carried. No effort, no direction to find. Just the freedom of movement, unseen but felt. Rest in that river now, and let it carry you into the next quiet sky. Above your head, the sky stretches upward, not as a single space, but in layers, soft, invisible stacks of air, each one different, each one a quiet world of its own. Tonight, we rise gently through them, not in a rocket or a rush, but like a feather drifting upward. We begin in the troposphere, the layer closest to Earth. It's where we live, where clouds form and weather happens, where wind moves, rain falls, and sunlight warms the ground. It stretches about 7 to 12 miles above us, higher at the equator, lower at the poles. In this layer, the air grows colder as we go up, and at its top, the tropopause, a kind of ceiling, the sky changes. Next comes the stratosphere, clear and calm. Here, the air is stable, and rising air balloons float. Jets fly smoothly above the turbulence of weather. This is also the home of the ozone layer, where a special form of oxygen filters sunlight, keeping harmful rays at bay. It's quiet up here, thin, blue, still. Then we float higher, into the mesosphere. Now the air grows cold again, colder than anywhere else on Earth. Here, meteors burn, streaking across the sky like tiny, silent fireworks. But we hear nothing. We are far beyond sound. Higher, still, we reach the thermosphere, where the air thins almost to nothing. This is where the auroras shimmer, ribbons of green and pink light, dancing in Earth's magnetic embrace. It's where the International Space Station orbits. Not quite space, but almost. And at last, the exosphere, the final veil. Here, atoms drift free, gravity loosens its grip, and Earth becomes just a beautiful sphere below, cradled in blue. All these layers, all this atmosphere, holding us close, even as it stretches outward. You don't feel each layer as you look up, but they are there, like stacked pillows, like dreams upon dreams, each one doing its part, keeping you warm, protecting life, filtering light, carrying clouds and colour and air. So tonight, as you rest, imagine yourself rising slowly, through the troposphere's clouds, through the stratosphere's calm, through the mesosphere's silent cold, and into the shimmering quiet of the thermosphere. No sound, no weight, just space and sleep. You are held by the sky, by every layer of it. And now, drift down again, gently, back to the soft breath of Earth. Let's go higher tonight, above the clouds, above the weather, above the drifting balloons and sleeping planes. There, in the wide quiet of the upper atmosphere, something extraordinary is always flowing. Not water, not light, but wind, fast and narrow, cold and focused. These are jet streams, rivers of air in the sky. They travel thousands of miles, circling the globe like invisible ribbons. Their paths are shaped by temperature, pressure, and the spin of the Earth. And though they cannot be seen, they shape much of what we do see. Weather systems, storm paths, flight times. Most jet streams live in the troposphere, near the boundary with the stratosphere, where warm air from the equator meets colder air from the poles. This contrast creates strong pressure differences, and in turn, wind. The strongest jet streams are called the polar jets, flowing between 30,000 and 40,000 feet. They can move at speeds over 200 miles per hour, yet from down here, you'd never know they're there. Pilots seek them out or avoid them. Meteorologists study them to predict what the weather will do next. But tonight, we just float beside them, like a leaf on a river. Feel the air grow thinner as we rise, lighter, cooler. The wind becomes more focused, more defined, not chaotic, not wild, just purposeful. These streams don't roar, they whisper, and in their movement, they carry the seeds of change, steering storms, calming skies, shifting temperatures. Sometimes they meander, bending and looping like a slow, sky-sized snake. Other times, they run straight and swift, slicing across continents. And as we drift near, we feel no turbulence, just smooth, endless motion. The subtropical jet stream, higher and farther south, moves with a different rhythm. Together, these bands shape rainfall, cloud cover, even the paths of hurricanes. The jet stream is why one city feels spring, while another holds winter. Why planes flying west take longer than those heading east. Why the sky sometimes changes overnight. But here, none of that matters. We're not here to track forecasts. We're here to be still beside the stream, to feel the planet breathing sideways. Imagine watching clouds below, cotton white and unmoving, while we soar above them, cradled in wind. There's no sound, only the suggestion of speed. And then, slowly, we drift away, leaving the current behind, returning to the layers below. The jet stream continues, carrying the sky forward. And you're carried too, into sleep, on a river that never stops flowing. A storm rises. High above, inside a towering cloud, the air churns and tumbles. And in that quiet chaos, something beautiful is forming. Hailstones. Not cold bullets or crashing ice. Not tonight. Tonight, we see them as they truly are. Sculptures from the sky made in silence, shaped by wind. Hailstones begin as tiny ice pellets, frozen droplets, lifted upward by strong updrafts inside a cumulonimbus cloud. The storm holds them aloft, not once, but again and again. Each time they gather more moisture. Each time they freeze again. Layer by layer, the hailstone grows like a pearl in the sky. One pass through the cloud, a new coat of ice. Another pass, another layer. The stronger the updraft, the larger the hailstone becomes. Some grow smooth and round. Others become jagged or oddly shaped, depending on the winds and the path they travel. And though hail can fall suddenly during a storm, we're not here for the fall. We're here for the making. Inside the cloud, there is no rush, only swirling currents, only invisible hands turning droplets into crystal. Hail is often associated with force, but the process that builds it is one of patience. The temperature must be right, the moisture just enough, the wind strong but steady, and when the hailstone grows too heavy for the air to hold, it begins its descent. Often, it melts before reaching the ground, becoming raindrops again. Its layers, once frozen in time, now gone. But sometimes, it makes the journey whole, landing with a soft thud in grass or field. Cold, clear, ringed with its story. If you were to cut a hailstone open, you'd see its history. Circles like tree rings, recording each pass through the cloud, each cycle of rise and fall, a record of the sky's breath, a frozen poem, and when the storm is gone, the hail remains, just for a little while. Before it melts, before it vanishes, it tells us. Even in the wildest weather, there is structure, there is beauty, there is calm waiting to be found. So let your thoughts rise now and fall again. Let them build their layers gently, formed not in chaos, but in rhythm. And as you rest, know this. Even the storm has its sculptors. Even ice, in its fall, was once held softly by the sky. It begins as rain, ordinary, soft silver, falling through the sky like any other evening shower. But the world below is cold, colder than freezing, not in the clouds, but at the surface, where roads, branches, and rooftops lie in quiet expectation. As each raindrop lands, it doesn't splash. It freezes instantly. A coat of ice wraps around whatever it touches. This is an ice storm, not a flurry or a blizzard, but a quiet transformation, where rain becomes glass, and the world glimmers, Unlike snow, which builds in flakes and fluff, an ice storm builds in layers. Each droplet adds to the shell. Tree limbs grow heavy, sparkling under the weight. Wires droop. Blades of grass harden into clear sculptures. Every twig, every leaf, sealed in crystal. The process begins when a layer of warm air hovers high above freezing ground. Precipitation forms as snow, melts into rain in the warm layer, and then passes through a final sliver of cold air near the surface, just enough to chill the drop without freezing it in midair. The rain remains liquid until it lands, and then the magic happens. The world doesn't freeze all at once. It builds slowly. A glaze thickens with time, like sugar hardening on a pastry. By morning, the earth is encased, a forest of glass, still, fragile, stunning. Walk through it carefully in your imagination. Branches crackle faintly under their new coats. Icicles drip, freeze again. The wind, if there is any, whistles through a crystal kingdom. Even sound behaves differently, muffled, soft, as if the air, too, is coated in glass. In the light, whether sunrise or moonrise, the scene becomes otherworldly. Each surface catches the glow. Every object, once ordinary, is now a sculpture. Bird feeders, fence posts, wind chimes, everything shines. Ice storms can weigh heavy in the waking world. But here, in this quiet dream, we walk gently. We pause to notice each droplet frozen mid-drip, each frozen blade leaning toward the earth. This kind of storm doesn't shout, it whispers and leaves beauty behind. So rest with the image of an orchard encased in silver, the hush of cold air, the sparkle of light caught in every corner. And if your thoughts grow still and silent, you found your place in the storm. Now we turn to warmth, not the gentle kind that kisses your cheeks in spring, but a deeper warmth, persistent, heavy. This is a heat wave, a stretch of days when the air forgets how to let go. The sun rises high and its warmth settles in, but as night falls, the air does not cool. The heat stays and stays and stays. A heat wave forms when a high-pressure system parks itself above a region. Air sinks from above, warming as it compresses. Clouds are held at bay, and with no cover, the sun beams down unhindered. The ground heats up, the pavement glows, even the breeze feels thick. But here, in this bedtime space, we explore the stillness of it. Not the discomfort, just the science of quiet air. You may have noticed how the horizon shimmers on such days. That's heat playing with light, bending it through layers of warm and warmer air. A visual ripple, like the air itself is sighing. Heat waves stretch across cities, forests, plains. They slow things down. People move more carefully. Animals seek shade. Flowers close. The night offers no relief. Buildings release the day's warmth slowly, like bricks exhaling, and the air wraps around everything like a weighted blanket. During heat waves, water becomes precious. Plants pull it from the soil. The atmosphere drinks it too, evaporating puddles, drying the air, thickening it. But this isn't fire. It's not violent. It's just a presence, a pause, and even in this pause, beauty can be found. Cicadas hum in the afternoon stillness. Sunsets turn deeper gold as light refracts through dust and warmth. Heat lightning flashes silently on distant horizons. It's a reminder that not all storms are made of wind and rain. Some are made of waiting, of still air, of time stretching like soft taffy in the sun. So imagine now, a warm evening, crickets chirping slowly, a ceiling fan turning lazily above you. The air wraps around you, not to trap you, but to lull you. It presses gently on your skin, like a hug that lingers. And as your body slows to match the world, your thoughts soften. Not every wave crashes. Some simply arrive and stay. So breathe into the warmth. Let it hold you and drift far out over the ocean, where the water is warm and the winds begin to whisper. A slow spiral begins to turn. Not all at once, not in a rush, but in a steady, growing circle of breath and motion. This is a hurricane, a storm so wide it can cover entire countries. Yet, in the very heart of it, there is stillness. Let's go there now, gently. Hurricanes form over warm ocean waters, where the heat of the sea rises into the sky, like steam from a teacup. As warm, moist air lifts, it cools and condenses, releasing energy, fueling more upward motion. A cycle begins, rising air at the center, descending air at the edges, and rotation pulled into place by the Coriolis effect, the Earth's gentle spin. As this storm gathers, it doesn't roar, it organizes. Bands of rain wrap in spirals, clouds tower like soft castles. And at the very center, something remarkable appears. The eye, a calm, clear circle where the sky opens. Winds drop, rain stops, and silence returns, if only for a time. The eye can be 20, 30, sometimes 50 miles across. A stillness surrounded by motion, the peaceful center of the world's largest storms. Around the eye spins the eye wall, where winds are strongest and clouds rise the highest. But within the eye, the air sinks gently, keeping it clear. It's strange, almost magical, to have such calm at the core of such energy. A paradox, a breath. If we were to drift through a hurricane, we enter through outer bands, thick with cloud and rain. Then, the eye wall, a rush of wind, towering clouds, movement in every direction. But then, silence. Blue sky above, the sea below, and a pause, as if the storm itself has exhaled. Some call hurricanes violent, but in this space we find only balance, air moving to find equilibrium. Hurricanes have no corners. They are all curves and circles, a spiral of warmth and water and time. As the storm moves over land, it begins to weaken, cut off from its warm ocean fuel. The rotation slows, the structure loosens, and eventually it dissolves. But tonight, we are simply observers, floating high above, watching the cloud tops swirl, feeling the steady heartbeat of a spiral that breathes, not with chaos, but with rhythm, not with noise, but with form. Rest now inside the eye. Let the world spin quietly around you. You are safe in the center, and sleep, like weather, will come in waves. Now, we move closer to Earth, where the plains stretch wide and skies open like great canvases. Here, storms gather in clusters, tall, towering clouds rising through calm spring air. And sometimes, under just the right conditions, a rotation begins, a twist, a spiral, a column of air folding in on itself. This is a tornado, but tonight we visit it gently, not in fear, not in alarm, just as a form of moving air, with structure, with grace. Tornadoes begin inside supercell thunderstorms, clouds with deep rotation, called mesocyclones. Within these clouds, warm, moist air rises, and cooler air descends. Winds shift in direction with height. The result is a slow, horizontal spin. Lift that spin into the vertical. Tighten it with rising air, and a tornado may be born. From the outside, it can look like a twisting rope, or a wide funnel, or a barely visible shimmer of motion against the sky. Some last only moments, others for hours, but all are fleeting. We won't step inside tonight. We'll stay on the calm edges, where grasses ripple in the wind and the clouds overhead swirl slowly in layered rings. You might notice how quiet it is at first. Birds go still. The air feels different, not colder, but expectant. as if the land is holding its breath. Tornadoes, at their core, are about pressure. Low in the center, higher around. Air rushes inward and upward, spiraling tightly, drawing in dust, mist, sometimes debris. But in our soft telling, we focus on motion, not impact. Like a dancer spinning, arm pulled to chest. Like tea stirred in a cup. Like a galaxy mirrored in miniature. Scientists study tornadoes through radar, drones, and fieldwork. They measure wind speeds, rotation rates, pressure drops. They look for patterns. But we, tonight, simply watch. We see the shape, the path, the poetry of air made visible. And eventually, the spiral stretches, thins, and fades. The clouds pull apart. The sky returns. No lasting sound. No mark in the sky. Just a breath, exhaled. Let your thoughts spin slowly now. Not in chaos, but in curiosity. Feel the spiral soften into a circle. Let the wind settle. And remember, even spirals unwind. Sleep comes next. Across the wide horizon, a shadow begins to rise. Not fast, not loud, just slowly, silently, building. A supercell. These are the architects of storms. Towering clouds with structure and symmetry. Power and grace. Tonight, we won't fear them. We'll admire them from afar, tracing their edges like soft brushstrokes against the sky. A supercell is a type of thunderstorm, but not an ordinary one. It rotates. It grows tall, sometimes reaching more than 50,000 feet into the atmosphere. And yet, it begins simply, with warmth, with moisture, with rising air. As warm air lifts from the ground, it cools and condenses into cloud. If wind conditions are just right, that rising air begins to spin. Not wildly, but steadily, like a slow turning spiral in the sky. This inner rotation is called a mesocyclone, a spinning column of air within the storm. It gives the cloud structure, balance, a gentle, powerful symmetry. From below, a supercell can look like a vast shelf or a layered tower. You might see a flat base, dark and brooding. Above it, swirling layers curve inward, like petals folding around a center. And sometimes, a lowering in the middle, a wall cloud, signals where the heart of the storm gathers. But here, in our quiet space, we stay grounded. We lie in the grass and look upward, watching the cloud drift and turn, like a slow-motion sculpture. Supercells can bring hail, lightning, wind, even tornadoes. But we are not here for the noise. We are here for the shape, the form, the awe. Inside the cloud, air is on a journey. Updrafts rise with warmth and moisture. Downdrafts descend with rain and cooling air. These opposing flows create layers, balance, rotation, a ballet in the sky. Sometimes, the top of the supercell spreads out into an anvil shape, blown eastward by high-altitude winds. It catches the last colors of sunset, pinks and golds edging into lavender and blue. The storm may move slowly, like a ship across the sky. You can feel its presence, even in still air, a gentle pressure, a hush in the fields. And though it may bring change, its first act is always beauty. So tonight, we rest beneath the architects. We honor the quiet design behind the drama. We admire the way nature builds with air and light. Let your thoughts rise like the updraft. Circle gently and drift slow and steady into rest. Imagine a world turned white, not from a single snowfall, but from hours of wind and drifting snow, falling thick and fast. A blizzard, yet not chaos, not violence. Tonight, we walk through the heart of the storm as it truly is. A storm made of silence. Blizzards form when snow falls during strong, sustained winds. Winds that lift and scatter the flakes, that erase edges and blur the land. The air becomes full, not just with snow, but with softness. Even sound is changed. Footsteps disappear behind you. Voices seem far away. The world narrows to what's near, and then even that fades. There's a special kind of stillness in a blizzard. Even though the snow swirls, even though the wind hums low and steady, there is calm. You cannot see far. The horizon vanishes, and in its place, white, endless, shifting white. Snowflakes catch the wind and move sideways, upwards, around. They don't fall, they fly. Temperatures dip, not fiercely, but deeply. Cold seeps into the air like a sigh through an open door. But here, in this bedtime storm, there's no need to shiver. You are bundled, safe, watching the storm from a window, perhaps, or imagining it from beneath warm covers. Blizzards need three things: cold air, snow, and wind. Together, they create a storm that isn't measured by thunder or lightning, but by time. A true blizzard lasts for hours. Not rushing, not raging, just slowly transforming the world, flake by flake. Drifts form like frozen dunes. Fences vanish beneath sculpted snow. Trees become outlines of themselves, softened by white. And when the storm passes, what's left behind is quiet. A world hushed. A world paused. The blizzard doesn't erase. It wraps. It covers rooftops and roads, fields and forests. It smooths the day's edges. It resets the land. Tonight, we walk through it gently. Feel the snow on your cheeks, the cold on your breath, the way sound disappears into softness. You are not lost in the snow. You are part of it, held by it. Let your thoughts settle like flakes. Let the wind carry them away, and let the hush of the blizzard become your lullaby. Everything is still. Everything is white. And sleep, like snow, is falling all around, just before sunrise. And again at sunset, a balloon is released into the quiet sky. It rises slowly, no rush, no sound, carrying a small instrument, no larger than a shoebox. Together, they drift upward, becoming one of the sky's most gentle travelers. This is a weather balloon, a floating eye, sent aloft to read the atmosphere's secrets. Launched from stations around the world, these balloons climb into the sky twice a day. At first, they seem simple, just a thin shell of rubber or latex, filled with helium or hydrogen. But what they carry is precious, a small sensor package called a radio sonde. As the balloon climbs, it sends back data: temperature, pressure, humidity, wind. Line by line, the atmosphere writes its story. Let's follow one now, gently, like a feather riding a thermal. At first, it floats past treetops, rooftops, drifting quietly above towns still asleep. Birdsong fades, the wind softens, and below, the earth begins to shrink. Soon it reaches the troposphere, the lowest layer, where clouds live and weather plays. Here, winds tug gently, steering it toward open sky. As it rises farther, the air thins, the blue deepens. Mountains below flatten into patterns. Rivers shine, like silver threads. Eventually, the balloon enters the stratosphere, where the air is still and layered. Here, it expands, growing larger as pressure drops. What was once the size of a beach ball becomes as wide as a small house. But still, it drifts, upward, observing, listening. By the time it reaches 100,000 feet, it can see the curvature of the Earth. Clouds below form soft spirals. Weather systems swirl like brushstrokes. The radio sonde sends its final readings. The balloon stretches thin and bursts. A tiny parachute opens. The instruments drift gently back to Earth, sometimes landing in forests, deserts, oceans, ready to be found, or to rest quietly in the place they've returned to. Every day, thousands of these silent scouts rise and fall, unseen, unheard, yet they guide forecasts, inform scientists, and help us understand the sky we live under. So tonight, imagine yourself floating with one, rising slowly through layers of air, looking down as the world turns blue, then black, feeling weightless, peaceful, unfolded, no wings, no motor, just the soft lift of the wind. Let your breath rise with it. Let your thoughts scatter like data into the sky and drift into sleep as gently as a balloon at dawn. Now we rise even higher, past the sky, past the clouds, into the velvet dark above Earth's thin blue shell. Here, orbiting silently above, float our patient observers, weather satellites, watching storms from the stars. They do not blink, they do not speak, but they see everything. From these heights, 22,000 miles above Earth for some, weather looks like art. Clouds swirl in soft spirals, storms bloom like ink in water. Sunlight glints on oceans. The polar caps glow white against deep space. Some satellites move with the Earth, always watching the same slice of sky. These are geostationary, fixed in position, spinning as we spin, keeping steady watch. Others orbit from pole to pole, sweeping across new parts of the planet with each pass. These polar orbiters collect details, close, careful, clear. Together, they form a gentle web of eyes, tracking hurricanes, tracing jet streams, measuring temperatures, sea ice, cloud heights, wind speeds. But they do all this silently, from a distance, with no intrusion, only presence. Satellites don't see the way we do. They read infrared light, sensing heat. They measure microwaves, revealing rainfall. Some even watch lightning flash across dark oceans. Others peer into the night to trace city lights and flickers of aurora. From this height, weather becomes a pattern, not just an event, but a motion, a language written in cloud and color. And still, satellites remain. Their solar panels stretch toward the sun, their antennas turn toward Earth, and night after night, they send back what they've seen. The data becomes pictures. The pictures become stories. And the stories help us prepare, understand, and wonder. But tonight, we don't decode the images. We simply float beside them. Imagine being there, weightless, orbiting, watching the world turn slowly below. You see continents pass in silence. Storms swirl like brushwork on canvas. Sunrises curve across the edge of Earth like golden ribbons. And beyond it all, only stars. So rest now, as if you too are in orbit, suspended, steady, safe above the turning world. Let sleep rise like the planet's shadow. Let the weather pass beneath you and drift with the stars. Outside, it may seem calm or cloudy, or perhaps a gentle rain is falling on the roof. But far away, perched quietly on a hillside or clearing, a dish begins to turn. Slowly, silently. This is Doppler radar, a tool that sees what eyes cannot. It watches the sky and paints it with color, but not colors you can see in the air. These are invisible waves, bouncing off raindrops, snowflakes, even the wind itself. As the radar beam travels outward, it touches particles in the atmosphere. And when those particles move toward or away, the radar knows. It listens for the smallest shift in return signal, and from that, it tells a story. A storm is moving north. Rain is falling harder near the river. Winds are spinning near the edge of the cloud. It sees motion in the unseen. The Doppler effect is a gentle phenomenon, named after Christian Doppler, who noticed how sound changes when it moves, like the pitch of a train whistle as it passes. In radar, it's not sound, but radio waves, sent outward in pulses, echoed back with meaning. And when these echoes return, the radar translates them into images, soft greens for light rain, yellows and reds for stronger echoes, pinks and purples when snow or sleet begins to mix in. It's not just colour, it's choreography, a weather dance revealed. Meteorologists use radar to track storms, to know when the rain will arrive, to understand how wind moves within clouds. Tornadoes, too, leave signatures. A rotation, called a velocity couplet, visible only to radar's quiet gaze. But for all its power, Doppler radar is not loud. It does not interfere. It simply listens. Tonight, we stand beside it. Feel the dish rotate. Feel the invisible sweep of pulses sent across the sky. They return with stories of a breeze shifting in the distance, of a shower blooming behind the hill, of a thunderstorm turning softly eastward, and all of it painted in gentle arcs of motion and light. You don't need to see the radar screen, just imagine it. A quiet arc spinning, sending waves, receiving echoes, reading the atmosphere's pulse, like a stethoscope for the sky. Let your breath slow now. Let your thoughts echo gently outward, then return. And sleep, like radar, will find you, quietly, precisely, softly. Lift your gaze, not too fast. Let your eyes follow the slow path of skyward thought. And there, drifting above us, are the clouds, each one a shape, a presence, a personality. There are many kinds, each with its own name, its own nature. And tonight, we'll drift through them like guests at a skyward gathering. We begin with the most familiar, cumulus, soft, puffy, like cotton or whipped cream. These clouds form on warm days when air rises, carrying moisture that condenses into fluff. They are friendly clouds, storybook clouds, the kind children point to and see animals and ships and castles. Next, we meet stratus, flat, grey blankets stretched low across the sky. They bring overcast calm, sometimes drizzle, but mostly a sense of quiet cover, a sky wrapped in wool. High above them, cirrus clouds sweep like brushstrokes, wispy, delicate, made of ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. They often arrive ahead of changes in the weather, but they speak only in whispers. Now we visit nimbus, the rain bearers. When clouds grow thick and dark, full of moisture, they take on this name, nimbostratus, for steady rain, or cumulonimbus, towering giants that may hold storms. Cumulonimbus clouds are the drama of the sky, rising tall with energy and motion. But even they have their softness. Their rounded tops spread into anvils, catching the pink of twilight. There are altostratus and altocumulus, clouds of the middle sky, between high and low, layered, patterned, sometimes glowing silver in the afternoon. Then come the rarer forms, lenticular clouds, shaped like smooth discs, hovering near mountains. Mammatus, with pouch-like forms, hanging from the sky like lanterns. Noctilucent clouds, shining after sunset at the edge of space, blue, silver, and rare. Each cloud type is formed by air, moisture, and altitude, by rising or sinking, by calm or movement, by warm ground or cooling sky. They are not static. They shift, evolve, combine. But their names, given centuries ago, remain. Latin words that drift as softly as the clouds themselves. Cumulus, heap. Stratus, layer. Cirrus, curl. Nimbus, rain. A sky full of quiet identities. So tonight, you might look upward or simply close your eyes and imagine drifting from cloud to cloud, resting for a moment on each one, each a different softness, each a different story, none asking for anything, just passing by, above you. Let your thoughts become cloud-like now, shifting in form, light in texture, named only by how they feel, and float gently into sleep. Take a deep breath. The air is all around you, invisible, gentle, constant. But it's not empty. Even the quietest breeze carries weight. This is atmospheric pressure, the soft, steady push of air pressing down from above. Not crushing, not sharp, just present, like the embrace of a heavy blanket on a cool night. We often forget it's there, because it's always there. From the top of the sky to the soles of your feet, air presses inward and downward. Every inch of your skin is touched by this pressure, roughly 14.7 pounds per square inch at sea level. But we don't feel it as force, we feel it as presence. The sky gently resting on us. Atmospheric pressure comes from the weight of the air above, and the higher you go, the less there is. Atop a mountain, the air is thinner, the pressure lighter. Breathe, and the air feels stretched. Down near the sea, it's denser, full, rich, close. Changes in this pressure shape weather. When pressure drops, air rises, moisture condenses, clouds form, rain may follow. When pressure rises, air sinks, clouds retreat, skies clear. A sunny day is often born from high pressure. It's all part of the atmosphere's quiet choreography. Barometers were invented to measure this hidden force. The earliest ones used columns of mercury. Now we use digital sensors and satellite instruments. But what they're sensing is something ancient. You've felt it too. That hush before a storm, when the air feels heavy and still. That lightness after the rain clears. The gentle tension on your skin as weather shifts. Pilots watch pressure to understand. Altitude. Gardeners notice it in how plants respond. Animals sense it too. Birds fly lower. Insects hide. Dogs curl close. But tonight, we don't need to measure, only to notice. You are part of this system. Breathing it in, exhaling it back. Imagine the air stacked in layers above you. Miles of molecules, floating, moving, pressing down. Not in burden, but in balance. Air holds itself in place with gravity. It holds us too. And as you rest now, you may feel it. The calm press of air on your chest. The soft tug of breath in your lungs. The quiet equilibrium of a planet wrapped in sky. You are inside the pressure. Just as the pressure is inside you, so let it comfort you. Let it settle you. Let it press your thoughts gently into stillness. The weather will change. The air will shift. But for now, you are held, and the sky is resting with you. Imagine a cloud, tall and thick, full of silent motion. Within it, something stirs. Not lightning, not thunder, just a column of air. Quiet, dense, cool. And then, like an exhale, it falls. This is a microburst, a sudden downward burst of wind rushing from the heart of a cloud to the earth below. But tonight, we meet it softly, not as alarm, but as sky sigh, a quick breath released. Microbursts form inside thunderstorms, when rain-cooled air gathers and becomes heavier than the air around it. Eventually, gravity wins. The column drops, straight down, at speeds that can surprise. But we are here not for speed, only for the story. Picture standing in a quiet field on a warm afternoon. The air is thick, clouds are building above, and suddenly, without warning, a cool wind rushes past your skin. Leaves scatter, branches sway. The ground is touched by a swift, invisible hand. That's the signature of a microburst. It doesn't spread far, often just a few miles wide. It comes and goes in moments. A whisper, a hush, a breath exhaled and gone. Pilots are trained to watch for them, to read their shapes in radar echoes, to feel their hints in shifting winds. But for most of us, a microburst is felt as surprise, a sudden gust, a patter of heavy rain that lasts only a few heartbeats. Then, stillness again. Microbursts can come with rain or without. Some are wet, carrying sheets of sudden downpour. Others are dry, touching ground with wind only, no water. From above, satellites sometimes catch their trace. A pulse of dust, a ripple of wind spreading in all directions, like a stone dropped in grass instead of water. But here, we imagine from the ground. We see the clouds part slightly. We feel a coolness arrive, not with force, but with relief. The storm sighs and then moves on. There's poetry in this motion, a moment of release, a letting go. And so, tonight, if your mind feels heavy with the day, think of a microburst, a breath built quietly, then released. Let go. Let the cool wind rush through you. Let it scatter thoughts like leaves. Let it leave, you still. The cloud is high above. The sigh has passed. And now the air is calm again, far across continents, beyond rivers, mountains, cities, and forests. There is a rhythm older than memory, a breath taken once a year, held, then released. This is the monsoon, the slow, seasonal inhale and exhale of the earth. Monsoons are not a storm, but a system, a pattern of winds that shift with the seasons. They bring months of dry air, and then, with time, months of rain. In South Asia, East Africa, Northern Australia, and beyond, the monsoon is a cycle, not abrupt, not chaotic, but steady, pulsing with the turn of the planet and the warmth of the sun. It begins with heat. The land warms quickly under summer's gaze. Air rises, pressure drops, and from the oceans, moist air flows inward, like the sea breathing onto land. Clouds gather, the sky darkens, not with threat, but with promise. Then, gently at first, rain begins to fall. Not just a shower, but a season. For weeks and months, the rains return. They water rice paddies. They swell rivers. They awaken seeds, waiting patiently underground. To the people who live within monsoon regions, this time is sacred, a source of life, a reset. There is beauty in the sound of it, the steady rhythm of rain on rooftops, the roar of swollen rivers, the hush between downpours when everything is washed and waiting. Monsoons don't arrive all at once. They build slowly, advancing like a tide. First clouds, then wind, then the sky opens. They don't end abruptly either. The rains taper, skies lighten, the land, full and green, sighs into rest. But even in the dry season that follows, the monsoon is remembered, in the scent of damp earth, in the harvest it leaves behind, in the patterns of life that move to its breath. It is not perfect. Too much rain can flood, too little can leave the land wanting. But the monsoon, like all of nature's rhythms, teaches balance. It reminds us that weather is not only momentary, it is cyclical, slow, sacred. So tonight, lie still and feel that rhythm. The heat, the rise, the wind, the rain, the release, the breath of a continent, and the quiet after. Sometimes the sky stays silent. No thunder, no rain, only sun and stillness. This is drought, a pause in the sky's giving, a long, dry whisper where water once fell. But tonight, we won't fear it. We'll walk through it slowly, listening for what it teaches. Drought begins not with a bang, but with absence. Days pass, then weeks. The clouds come, but do not weep. The rivers shrink. The soil hardens. Leaves curl inward, holding on. It is the earth, waiting. Drought is not just dry weather. It is dry weather that lingers. There are many kinds. Meteorological drought, too little rain. Agricultural drought, when crops thirst and fields crack. Hydrological drought, when rivers fade and reservoirs fall low. But beneath them all is the same sensation. Longing, patience, the hush of the sky holding its breath. It's not loud, not stormy. It arrives with quiet footsteps and sits for a while. And even here, there is beauty. Golden grasses, sun-silvered bark, the glimmer of heat rising from a distant road. You may have seen it, in the way birds gather near shrinking ponds, in the silence between wind gusts, in the stillness of fields, under an endless blue sky. People wait, plants wait, the world slows, and yet life finds a way. Roots dig deeper, animals adapt, even the air becomes efficient, holding what little moisture it has like a secret. Drought reminds us of water's worth. It invites reverence, stillness, reflection. It doesn't announce itself. It arrives gradually. It stays quietly. And when it ends, it doesn't roar. It returns with a single drop. A dark spot on dry ground. A ripple in the dust. A scent of petrichor rising from long silent soil. And the earth breathes again. So tonight, imagine that hush, that sacred pause. You are in the center of it, not parched, not fearful, just still. Let the dryness be a rest. Let the silence stretch wide. Let the first drop wait until morning. And sleep now, as the sky holds its breath beside you, beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, far from the sound of waves. A warmth begins to gather. It doesn't move like a storm. It doesn't rush. It drifts, slowly, silently, changing the weather across the world. This is El Niño, a name meaning the boy in Spanish, named long ago by fishermen along the coast of Peru, who noticed that the ocean sometimes warmed near Christmas. And paired with El Niño is his counterpart, La Niña, the girl. Together, they are the ocean's weather whisperers. These are not storms, not winds, not clouds. They are patterns, deep, slow pulses in the ocean and sky. During El Niño, warm waters spread across the central and eastern Pacific. Trade winds weaken. The usual balance of air and sea shifts. Rain falls where it is often dry. Drought touches places once soaked. A warm ocean current, thousands of miles wide, changes jet streams. Storm tracks shift. The seasons sway, not loudly, not in chaos, but in wide, sweeping rhythms. And then, La Niña arrives. Colder than normal water gathers in the same part of the ocean. Trade winds strengthen. Storms return to their old paths, or wander to new ones. Where El Niño brings warmth and rain, La Niña often brings dry skies and cool breezes. These cycles are part of the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or Inenso, a dance between ocean and atmosphere, a conversation held in currents and clouds. Meteorologists monitor sea surface temperatures, wind directions, pressure patterns. They listen to the ocean's signals to predict weather months in advance. Because what begins in the Pacific does not stay in the Pacific. It reaches South America, Australia, Asia, Africa. It touches snowpacks, monsoons, hurricanes. It whispers across the world. But tonight, we don't chase storms. We follow the current, float beneath the surface, feel the warmth expand, or the cool gather. Let it guide the winds above. Let it nudge the clouds softly into motion. El Niño and La Niña don't ask for attention. They simply exist. Vast, quiet forces that shape the world. So breathe with them, slow, deep, ocean breath, and drift with the tide of change. The sun has set, the sky darkens, but something lingers above the horizon, a shimmer, a glow. You're seeing a cloud, but not just any cloud. This one glows in twilight, long after the rest of the sky has dimmed. These are noctilucent clouds, meaning night shining. They live far above the weather, in the mesosphere, 50 miles above the Earth, the highest clouds we know. They form in summer near the poles, when icy dust catches the last sunlight, long after the ground is in shadow. Thin, electric blue, they ripple like waves in a dream. Noctilucent. Clouds are born from tiny ice crystals, clinging to specks of dust or meteor debris. The air is cold, nearly minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. But even in this silence, clouds form. They are rare, elusive, seen only at dusk or dawn, only from certain latitudes. But when they appear, they seem not of this world, and they are not alone. There are polar stratospheric clouds too, also called nacreous, or mother of pearl. They form lower in the stratosphere and shine with iridescent colour, pink, green, violet, like oil on water or dragonfly wings. They shimmer most in Arctic and Antarctic skies, lit from beneath by the sun just below the horizon. These glowing clouds remind us that the sky is layered, not just in altitude, but in mystery. While cumulus and stratus drift close to home, noctilucent and nacreous clouds belong to the edges of space, to the realm where the atmosphere thins into stars. They are sky lanterns, brief and beautiful, catching light where day meets night. Some scientists study them for clues about the upper atmosphere. Some dreamers just watch and wonder. And tonight, we join them. Lie back, look up, let your thoughts rise past the troposphere, past jet streams and cirrus trails, into the mesosphere's cold quiet. Let your dreams catch the shimmer. Let them ripple like light on snow. Clouds, even the highest ones, are always reaching, always reflecting, always glowing, just like you. Sleep now. The sky still shines. At the top and bottom of our planet, where night lasts for months and snow stretches like a whisper across the land, something ancient and powerful spins. A cold circle, a crown made of wind. This is the polar vortex, a ring of strong, high-altitude air that swirls around the North Pole and the South Pole. It is not a storm. It does not roar. It spins, quietly, constantly, a guardian of cold. The polar vortex lives high in the stratosphere, far above the clouds we see. It forms when winter settles in, and the temperature contrast between the icy poles and the warmer mid-latitudes becomes sharp. That contrast sets the winds turning, around and around, a cyclone of cold circling the top of the world. Inside the vortex, air is frigid and still. Below it, in the troposphere, weather is shaped by how tightly that cold air is held. Most of the time, the vortex stays strong, keeping the cold contained near the Arctic. But sometimes, something shifts. A warming in the stratosphere, a weakening of the winds, and the vortex begins to wobble. It stretches, tilts, breaks into pieces, and with that, cold air spills southward. You might feel it as a sudden cold snap, not random, but rooted in the sky's slow spiral. The vortex can push frigid air into Europe, Asia, North America, for days or weeks, before settling again into place. Meteorologists watch it carefully. Satellites trace its loops and bends. But it remains elusive, a creature of pattern, not prediction. It's not a threat. It's a structure, a swirling ceiling of winter. And it has a twin in the south, circling Antarctica, crowned with its own icy winds. These vortices have always been there, spinning quietly above the poles, moving air in great circles, reminding us that even the sky has its architecture. So tonight, imagine yourself standing beneath it, on a snowy plain, beneath a velvet sky, no wind at the surface, but far above, the air turns, a slow, cold crown, graceful, endless. Let your thoughts spin with it, not in haste, but in orbit. Let the quiet circle of the polar vortex carry you deeper into rest. Even the cold can be gentle. Even the highest winds can be part of sleep. The desert breathes. It breathes not with water, but with wind, not with rainfall, but with dust. Each year, millions of tons of Saharan sand rise into the sky, tiny particles of ancient stone, lifted by warm winds and carried far beyond the dunes. These are the dust clouds of the Sahara. They rise from North Africa and drift westward across the Atlantic Ocean, across thousands of miles, across worlds, from desert to rainforest. The process begins with the Harmattan winds, dry and powerful, blowing across the Sahel. They lift the dust high into the air, into the atmosphere's lower layers, where it becomes a massive, moving veil of gold. From space, satellites capture it, a hazy plume stretching from Africa to the Americas, like a breath exhaled across the sea. And though dust may sound lifeless, it is full of gifts. Within those particles are nutrients, iron, phosphorus, the very minerals that help plants grow. When the dust settles over the Amazon rainforest, it feeds the soil, restoring what rain has washed away. A desert feeding a forest, across oceans, in silence. The air may carry it for weeks. And while it drifts, it touches more than trees. It cools the sea surface beneath it, dimming sunlight, calming storm development. Sometimes, it even tempers hurricanes before they form. These dust clouds shape sunsets too, giving the sky a deeper red, a longer orange glow as particles scatter light. In some places, the air grows hazy. You may feel the dust as a soft dryness on your skin, a whisper on the breeze. But tonight, we drift with the dust, not beneath it. We rise with it from the desert floor, lifted in waves, like golden silk caught in wind. We pass over dunes and coastlines, over the wide Atlantic, until we reach the green expanse of rainforest. The dust begins to fall, settling softly among leaves and roots. It has travelled far, but always with purpose. It reminds us, even dry things carry nourishment, even wind can give. So let your thoughts lift gently now, as if caught in a current. Let them cross oceans, let them scatter, then settle, dust-like, soft, important. The desert has exhaled, the forest breathes in, and you too are part of this cycle, floating, falling, feeding the quiet, far out at sea, where the sky meets the water in a blur of shadow and mist. A storm stirs the waves, and under the dark, churning surface, light begins to bloom. Not from lightning, not from stars, but from life. Tiny plankton, invisible by day, begin to glow. Their light, blue-green and soft, flickers in response to motion. This is bioluminescence, a kind of living light created by marine organisms in the deep. Most nights, it comes in sparkles, in gentle trails behind boats, in the ripple of fish swimming just beneath the surface. But when the sea is stirred by wind, by current, or by storm, the glow becomes something more. A canvas of light beneath darkness. The ocean, painting with colour you cannot hold. During tropical storms and even hurricanes, the water moves in tall swells, wild eddies, deep undercurrents. This movement wakes the plankton, billions of them, each one glowing, then fading, then glowing again. And the result? A storm at sea, lit from below. There are sailors who speak of glowing wakes that stretch for miles, of entire waves lighting up before they crash, of whirlpools glowing like galaxies, spinning in silence. The glow is not hot. It is cold light, made through chemical reaction, not fire, safe, quiet, beautiful, and the creatures who make it. Dinoflagellates, a kind of microscopic plankton, respond to disturbance by glowing, perhaps to confuse predators, perhaps just as a byproduct of their biology. They don't know of the storm above. They only know that the water has changed, and in response, they light up the sea. Bioluminescence has been seen in the wake of hurricanes, especially in warm tropical waters where plankton thrive. A storm passes, and the sea shines. But tonight, we do not chase the storm. We drift beside it, not in fear, but in wonder. Imagine floating in the ocean after the clouds have moved on. The air is still, the sky dark, and around you, the sea pulses with light. Each movement of your hand stirs a shimmer. Each swell glows, faintly, as if touched by stars. You are surrounded, not by noise, but by presence. This light has no sound. It asks nothing. It simply appears, then fades, then appears again. So close your eyes now. Let your thoughts drift like plankton. Let them glow, then rest, then glow again. Even in storms, there is light, and sometimes the ocean remembers how to shine. In the northwest of Venezuela, where the Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo, a strange and beautiful phenomenon fills the sky. Lightning that never ends. Not just a flash, not a single storm, but a nightly ritual of flickering light, dancing above the water with quiet rhythm. This is Catatumbo lightning, one of the most reliable lightning shows on Earth. It can occur for over 200 nights a year, sometimes for hours, sometimes more than 100 flashes in a single minute. And yet, there is almost no sound. The lightning stays high, distant thunder barely reaching the land. The sky lights up, but the night stays calm. The science behind it is layered. Warm air from the Caribbean Sea meets cooler air from the Andes Mountains. Add in the shape of the lake, the moisture of the river delta, and the stillness of night, and the perfect recipe forms. A stationary storm, a quiet ballet of light, repeated again and again. People nearby have grown up with this sky. It's not frightening, it's familiar. Fishermen use it to navigate at night, a natural lighthouse, casting light not in beams, but in flashes. Some say it can be seen from hundreds of kilometers away. Others describe it as a soft strobe, a heartbeat in the clouds. It's not dangerous from afar. It doesn't bring howling wind or sudden rain. It is simply present, a part of the landscape, like trees or hills or stars. The lightning begins after sunset, when the heat of the day begins to settle. It climbs into the sky, but rarely touches down. It dances inside the clouds, a sky full of glowing veins, a canvas of silent electricity. Scientists study it to understand the ionosphere and the way Earth breathes energy upward. But tonight, we're just here to watch. Imagine standing on a shore, the lake smooth like dark glass. Above you, the clouds blink and flicker. One, then another, then another. No thunder rolls, only light, only pattern. You don't count the flashes. You just feel the rhythm. It is timeless. It has been happening for centuries. It will happen again tomorrow. And in its repetition, there is comfort. So let your mind rest now in that glow. Let it flicker softly behind your thoughts, like distant lightning beyond your window. You are safe. The sky is singing, and sleep waits between the flashes. High above the earth, where the air is thin, cold, and silent, a silver line appears. It stretches across the sky, drawn by a plane that is already out of sight. White, soft, lingering, this is a contrail, short for condensation trail, a human whisper in the sky. Contrails form when jets fly at high altitudes, where the air is cold enough to turn vapor into ice. The engines release water vapor, hot and invisible. But as it mixes with the frigid atmosphere, the moisture freezes instantly into tiny ice crystals. A cloud is born. Thin and bright, it fans out behind the aircraft. Some contrails vanish in minutes. Others stretch and drift for hours, woven by winds into soft trails and feathered sheets. They often become part of the high sky, indistinguishable from natural cirrus clouds, those delicate ice clouds that form far above the weather. Some days, the sky is clear, and then, over time, lines appear. Lines that blur into veils, and the blue becomes hazy with trails laid down by travellers we'll never meet. These clouds are shaped by air pressure, humidity, and wind. If the upper atmosphere is dry, the trail dissolves quickly. If moist, it grows, widening, blending, becoming sky. Meteorologists study contrails, not only for what they are, but for what they tell us. Their persistence can signal moisture at high altitudes, a clue that weather may be shifting, that cirrus clouds are forming naturally too. Contrails are delicate. They belong to the highest layers, where only birds, balloons, and satellites travel. They do not fall, they do not rain, they simply float, airborne signatures of motion written in ice. And though they come from engines, they appear as art. Some form long ribbons, others create X's, crosses, or curves. One plane, one line, another a second brushstroke, and slowly a sky is painted. Not loudly, not forever, but long enough to make you pause. So tonight, imagine lying on your back in a wide field. You hear nothing, you see only high light, and far above, a soft white trail begins to form, moving in silence. Let it drift across your imagination, a reminder of motion, of distance, of stillness wrapped in speed. Let your thoughts be like contrails, thin, passing, leaving gentle marks, then fading. The sky remembers them for a while, and then it returns to blue, as will you. Mountains seem eternal. They rise from the earth like frozen waves, solid, unmoving, ancient. But even stone listens to weather. Even stone can be shaped. In this chapter, we walk slowly along mountain paths, tracing the marks left by wind, by rain, by time. Erosion is the sculptor. Weather is its chisel. Over centuries, even the tallest peaks are softened. The sharp becomes smooth. The jagged becomes curved. Rain slips through cracks, freezing at night, expanding, pressing, breaking stone. A process called frost wedging, slow and patient as breath. Water flows through valleys, carving deeper paths. Not in a rush, but always forward. Wind lifts grains of sand, polishing rock faces, shaping arches and windows in canyon walls. Even snow and ice leave their mark. Glaciers, rivers of ice, once slid down slopes, smoothing stone, leaving U-shaped valleys behind. Clouds wrap around summits. Mist curls in folds and passes. Thunderstorms boom across ridges, and sunlight cracks through alpine skies. But the mountain stays. It listens, it shifts, and slowly it changes. You may have seen it in cliff faces, worn like pages of a book, in layers of rock, tilted and weathered, in quiet caves and hidden pools where water once danced. Even now, rocks fall from heights. Snowmelt trickles into streams, and moss grows on the cool, damp side of boulders. Each part of the mountain holds a story, etched not in ink, but in time, and weather is always writing. It does not rush, it does not finish, but given enough years or millennia, even the mightiest peaks will bow to the elements. So tonight, imagine walking along a ridge trail. The wind is steady, the sky is clear, and the mountain speaks, not in words, but in textures. Let your thoughts become stone, solid but softening. Let rain wash them clean. Let wind smooth the edges. You are not vanishing. You are becoming, shaped by weather, carved by time, and held always by something greater. Beneath the Earth's crust, there is heat, not the warmth of summer air, but ancient, silent fire. And sometimes that heat rises. A mountain exhales, slowly or suddenly, with ash, with gas, with light. This is a volcano, the Earth opening its mouth to the sky. And what it sends upward does not stop at the peak. Ash and gases rise far beyond the mountaintop, not just into the clouds, but into the stratosphere, where they meet the winds that circle the planet. There they drift, suspended, spreading across continents. A single large eruption can send particles so high they stay aloft for years. These fine ash particles and sulfur gases reflect sunlight back into space, cooling the Earth ever so slightly. It's not dramatic, it's not instant, it's subtle, a degree here, a softened summer there. In 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines. The ash cloud rose 20 miles high, and for 2 years, global temperatures dipped, a cooling born not of snow, but fire. This exchange between ground and sky is one of nature's rarest, where a force from deep below touches the highest air. Volcanic ash is not like smoke. It's made of shattered rock, fine as powder. It rides the wind for miles, and mixed with it, sulfur dioxide, which forms reflective aerosols in the stratosphere, hanging like a veil between sun and earth. Sunsets after eruptions often turn brilliant, richer reds, deeper purples, a sky lit by particles too small to see, too many to count. But from the ground, it's quiet. The cooling is soft, a gift from a place of fire. And over time, the particles fall, rain brings them down, the sky clears, the cycle continues. Volcanoes remind us that the earth breathes, and sometimes its breath touches the stars. So tonight, imagine a distant volcano, its slopes still, its peak aglow. Ash curls into the stratosphere, where it finds stillness. And from that height, the world cools, just a little. The light softens, and sleep comes easier. Let your thoughts rise like smoke, upward, outward, weightless, and settle again gently. Even fire can bring quiet. Even eruption can lead to rest. Sometimes fire climbs. It begins low, a flicker in dry grass, a spark in a forest, a line of flame beneath a hot wind. But as it burns, the air above it rises, hot, fast, full of energy. And then a cloud begins to form, not from rain, not from sea, but from flame. This is a pyrocumulus cloud, a cloud born of fire. As wildfires grow, they release immense heat. The rising air carries moisture from plants, from the ground, and even from the flames themselves. This moisture condenses into towering clouds, white at the top, smoke-streaked beneath. From a distance, it looks like a thunderstorm. From above, like a blooming grey flower. But its roots are fire, and sometimes, if conditions are just right, this cloud grows tall enough to become a pyrocumulonimbus, a firestorm cloud with lightning, with thunder, with its own weather. The fire creates the cloud brings wind, and sometimes even rain. It is a loop of heat and sky, a conversation between earth and air. Lightning may strike from the cloud, igniting new fires nearby. Or the rising column may collapse, sending air and ash downward in gusts. But from afar, it is beautiful, a silent plume rising into blue sky, layered and swirling, like breath becoming cloud. Fire is not just destruction, it is transformation. And in the sky above a wildfire, we see that transformation made visible. A storm born not of ocean or cold front, but of heat and fuel and time. These clouds are studied by satellites, measured by weather balloons, watched by pilots who note their rise. But tonight, we simply observe, not too close, safe and still. We imagine the fire from a mountaintop at dusk, orange below, grey above, white at the crown. The cloud rises and unfolds, its base glowing with ember light, its top catching the last gold of the sun, a flame-born sky creature, shifting slowly in the wind. Let your thoughts rise with it. Let the fire stay distant. Let the cloud build, then drift, then dissolve. Not all clouds come from water, not all storms from sea. Some are born of burning, but even they can be watched with wonder. At the top of the world, and sometimes the bottom, the night sky begins to move. Not with wind, not with clouds, but with light. Green and violet, blue and rose, a shimmer, a ripple, a slow glowing dance. This is the aurora, the sky's quiet light show, known in the north as the aurora borealis, and in the south, the aurora australis. It begins far away, not in the atmosphere, but in the sun. Our star releases tiny particles, charged, weightless, energetic. They drift through space. Most pass us by, but some are pulled in, guided by Earth's magnetic field toward the poles. There, high above the Earth, in the thermosphere, these particles meet our atmosphere, and when they touch, they glow, a reaction of light and energy, soft and soundless. Green when they meet oxygen, purple when they meet nitrogen. Each color a conversation between space and sky. The light is not fire, not flame, it's plasma, a fourth state of matter. Not solid, not liquid, not gas. Something in between, something luminous. And though it moves, it does so with patience. The aurora curls, it arcs, it flickers, then fades. It appears again, farther along the horizon. Some nights, it covers the whole sky in ribbons. Other nights, just a thin curtain along the edge of vision. But always, it feels like a dream you can see. Indigenous cultures have long told stories of these lights. Spirits dancing, messages from ancestors, a sky alive with meaning. Scientists measure the solar wind, track geomagnetic activity, predict auroral displays with maps and numbers. But you don't need a forecast, only stillness and a sky. So, tonight, imagine you're somewhere far north, wrapped in blankets, surrounded by snow. And overhead, the stars begin to waver. The aurora arrives, not with noise, but with wonder. It moves slowly, like breath in silk, and you watch, nothing more. Let your thoughts ripple like the aurora, changing color, fading gently, returning again. There is no urgency, only beauty, only light, only the dance of the sky for those who choose to see. We've wandered far, haven't we? Through lightning and snow, through clouds and oceans, through ice storms, glowing skies, and deserts that send dust across seas. But now, as we come to the end of this journey, we turn gently inward, not toward storms or stratospheres, but to something closer, something quiet, the weather where you are, right now. What does the sky look like outside your window? Is it dark and clear, overcast and pale? Is rain falling softly, tapping the glass? Or is it dry, still, waiting? Maybe there's no window near. Maybe the only sky you see tonight is the one behind your closed eyes. That's fine too, because weather isn't only in the air. It's in the way your breath moves, in the warmth of your blanket, in the rhythm of your thoughts, rising and falling like wind. Tonight, the weather is here, wherever you are. It might be winter beyond your door, or summer humming just outside. The moon might be full and glowing, or hidden behind layers of cloud. Whatever it is, let it be enough. Let it be your atmosphere. No need to change it, or name it. Just notice. Even the smallest sky holds a kind of weather. So, breathe it in now. The air that's touching your skin. The weight of the night around you. The light, or darkness, folding across your room. And as you listen to the last notes of this journey, feel the quiet settle. You've traveled across the world tonight, without moving. You've touched clouds, drifted through fog, floated in the eye of a storm, and watched stars flicker from the top of the earth. And still, you are right here, still, safe, held by the weather wherever you are. Close your eyes and rest now. The forecast is calm, and as our gentle journey winds down, I hope these sleepy weather wonders brought you a sense of calm, a quiet place where curiosity drifts into comfort and science becomes lullaby. If these soft-spoken explorations have kept you company tonight, you're welcome to like or subscribe, only if it feels easy, and never in haste. You're already part of this quiet circle, just by being here. For now, let your thoughts grow slower. Let your limbs grow softer. Let your breathing mirror the wind, steady, slow, and barely there. The weather will still be here tomorrow. The clouds will keep drifting. The tides will turn. The stars will shine whether you watch or not. But tonight, you don't have to chase any of it. You've arrived. You're safe. You're held. So rest, deeply and gently. Let dreams gather like dew. Let sleep come like snowfall. Good night, peaceful dreams, and calm skies to you.